And welcome to Liquid Lunch. It's me, Hugh, and Sandra's here. It's a Wednesday.
March 23rd.
March 23rd, and we're really happy to be doing the show today.
Happy spring!
Yeah, it is spring, actually, and I even got to ride. They said there was going to be a snowstorm yesterday, but I rode my bike both ways.
See, okay, I am so disconnected. I did not know about Rob Ford. I did not know about the Belgium bombings. Did not know about the snowstorm.
Yeah.
I even checked my Facebook, which is my feed, and nothing. So I really think I'm in a different reality.
Well, you're going 5D, right? Now, Dianne,
go vegan.
We have Dianne Ojar Ali joining us here, and you guys knew each other.
Yes.
No, from before.
No, she interviewed me before.
Yes. Okay. How can you forget her?
Well, I wondered if you had taken her 5D course.
Me?
No, her.
No.
Course.
No. I actually read a little bit of her book, though.
Oh, yeah. Mrs. Fraud and You. There it is. Dianne is the author of this book, teaching people how to not get defrauded. Right, Dianne?
That's right. How to protect themselves.
Which is important.
That's correct.
So we're very much in alignment.
Mm-hmm.
And, do we have, we're going to tell people, of course, how they can get the book. But
that's right.
What's your website, just so we can...
It's mrsfraudandyou.com.
Mrs. Fraud.
Well, just Google me and call
I have to tell you, I don't think we have had anybody in the interviews I've done so far who are so well blending in the black and red background, because she's got this beautiful red lipstick and this beautiful black outfit, and you just fit so perfectly.
Oh, thank you. I was looking for the pink and I couldn't find it.
You know what?
Good
it was
thing
meant
you
to
did
be.
it, actually. See, it all worked out.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like, not that I'm a fashionista thing, but wow, it looks awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now, Dianne, I was trying to ask you before we came on the show today, because I know you're involved in so many different things.
That's
I've been to some of your events, and
You're a mover and shaker.
Yeah, and we had anyway. So what are you working on these days, and what are we talking about today?
Well, first of all, congratulations on you guys moving up and expanding. There's so much happening as well.
You should have the Jeffersons song, Moving On.
Believe me, that was in my head the whole time. Yeah, we got a deluxe apartment in the sky.
You do.
Here at Bay and Dundas.
That's correct. That's correct.
Right?
But we're following up with, let's talk about the books part of it. We're following up with the children's book I wrote at the same time I wrote this book, called Little Chrissy Seeks Out Mrs. Fraud, about a 6-year-old who's really angry because she was defrauded as a 6-year-old at the bank, saying they have to fraud a check. So she's out there on an adventure, like a huckfin, to seek out Mrs. Fraud and give her a piece of her mind.
So she's defrauded at 6 years old?
Yeah, that's correct.
How do you know at 6 years old?
Well, what happened roughly, not to tell a story, but typically what happens, minors have no protection.
Yeah. Okay.
So again, with your SIN number, you can pretty much open an account. And it did actually happen to a 4-year-old at the time, which is probably about...
Do 4-year-olds even have a social insurance number?
And this actually happened in the States. So it's...
Social Security number, right?
Now you can have an RESP number. Social insurance number to get a family RESP or individual RESP from birth.
Don't you get them at
Yes.
I thought you got the social insurance.
I had to apply for mine.
Oh.
And now I regret that I did.
Do you have kids, Hugh?
No.
See, that's the thing. You have to have kids.
Why?
To get the RESP.
Oh, because if you get the RESP, then you automatically have to get the social insurance number.
Yes,
but they didn't have RESPs when you and I were kids, anyway.
No, but at the same time, if you think about it, if you have a niece or nephew, someone you want to open an account for, right, a minor, who's going to watch them as well? So nobody's going to watch them, and everybody's identity and information is out there, so it's easy to access.
So this is a new book.
This is a new book written a couple of years ago in 2011 when I wrote this book.
And is it meant for kids? Is it a children's book?
It's going to be illustrated, that's right.
Okay.
And adults.
And adults, of course.
Adults. And there's a little twist to it, which I can't
There's a
tell
twist.
You. Yeah, it's going to be cool.
And what's the name of the book again?
Little Chrissy Seeks Mrs. Fraud.
Little Chrissy.
Little Chrissy. And all the characters, and they are real characters, by the way, as usual.
Whoa, okay. So this is, and people can get that on the website as well, which is?
Well, we don't have the website for that one yet, Hugh. But it will be coming through Olive Media Publishing, so...
all right.
Olive Media Publishing, yeah.
Okay.
And we'll talk about Olive Media in a couple of minutes.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. Now what do you want to talk about?
Olive Media. That's the couple of minutes.
Let's talk about Olive Media. That's right. Hugh doesn't know what to talk about.
Hugh is very
I think we're sitting on the wrong sides here, Hugh.
Yeah, see, that's why I was asking you, do you want to do your own show here, right?
We'll talk about that, absolutely.
Yeah, because
I had my own shows.
I know. I was
right?
at your event up in Scarborough. And you had the guy from the Spoons, right? I remember.
The Spoons? Oh, yes.
Remember?
Yes.
Signing the books. His book signing. Spoon-fed. That was his book.
It wasn't my event. I think it was Randy's event. Or Ronnie's event. But somebody else's event. Not my event.
But you were there.
I was there. Of course I was there.
He's a very cool guy. We interviewed him, too.
Yeah.
He's a very cool guy. Really liked him.
Okay, Dianne.
So let's talk about Olive Media Network.
Olive Media Network. That's
correct.
what I've been wanting to talk about.
It's a very cool name. I like that, Olive.
Yes.
It's like the olive branch or something?
It's the olive branch. It's the freshness, new, virgin.
Nice.
It's a startup. Well, of course, as you know, I had Network Video Productions for 2 years, the partnership. So we just pretty much went on my own now, him and himself, and we created Olive Media Network.
Nice.
So out of that, I came up with this brilliant idea because, brilliant minds fascinate me, Hugh. Like you.
That's why we're talking right now. Yeah.
No, but what I did was I sort of took the Napoleon Hill concept to media because I was intrigued by it. So I've created a show called The CEO, which does not exist, by the way.
It's a show.
And you heard it here first time and only time, okay?
A show called CEO,
The
okay.
CEO.
The CEO.
The CEO.
The CEO.
Okay.
Like the executives.
Oh,
like yourself.
Chief Executive Officer.
That's correct. The bosses. So from that, I decided to create this community because, as you know, most of the entrepreneurs are still in this warp. I don't want to say stuck, but
struggle.
They're struggling as well.
For sure.
They're not thriving, and it really hurts my heart to see that sometimes they come into my office, as a coach too, as well as a master practitioner of hypnotherapy, and on the outside everything's fine. When they come into my office, they're crying, they're depressed because they don't know what else to do. So I decided, okay, let's create this community of resource for them. We're going to be speaking to the startups, the dreamers, the entrepreneurs, mid-sized businesses, you name it. So we've created called the Entrepreneurs Network.
Which is
so 10. It's 10.
Yeah.
So we create like a 10 channel. From that, it's amazing what comes out of my brain, Hugh, because I found that this does not exist. And why is this different to the other entrepreneur networks that we have across the board? Because I'm not disputing they're not some organizations and groups and so forth and forums. The reason why it's different is because we have the media component to it. And it does not exist globally. So we're taking this globally.
Okay, and how does it work?
We're collaborating with we're collaborating with the organizations and groups where we interview for the CEO show. We will be interviewing the CEOs and other entrepreneurs of different leadership mentorship roles.
Right.
So for the Entrepreneurship Community Network, which is 10, because that's an incubator program for us, we will have the resources to help them. So again, we will be collaborating with people like yourself as well, how we can help them get the visibility that they need. And that's why we were talking earlier as well. We need to give them the exposure. Maybe they need to get a business plan, a website, growth. Everything there we will have for them as a resource to take it to the next level for them.
Absolutely. Now, okay, so of course this is really where the economy is going. Really, we're all going to be self-employed as we move into the future. More and more people will be entrepreneurial, right?
That's just the step before we go to a moneyless society.
Yeah, exactly. That's another conversation. But and these entrepreneurs need to often they come into entrepreneurship with one particular skill set. Maybe they know the product or the service that they're creating, but then they need to also have all the other things. They need to have the accounting function.
That's correct.
Dealt with. They need to have the marketing. They need to have a sales team.
That's right. They're one-man band, pretty much is what it is right now. You cannot be a one-man band.
No.
I mean, I've done that, tried that. You've done that, tried it as well. Now you have assistants, I see. Congratulations.
Thank you.
But you have to have the manpower too as well. But again, you also have to have the mindset to see where you want to go with this. We have to stop trying in the groups, sell each other out.
Yeah.
It's just so much you can sell.
Yeah.
They also have to invest in themselves.
And what does that mean? Does that mean like getting training, learning about things?
It's everything. Getting training, taking up, let's say you have a $500 budget.
Yeah.
What can you get for $500? Maybe improve your website, get a website, get some business cards, proper business cards, do a couple interviews. Whatever it takes to take you to the next level is what it is we need to do. Or at least put them on the right path and give them some guidance. So we're putting those resources together.
Okay, so what stage is it at now, the Entrepreneurs Network? Can people join it now?
In a sense, we are building the website right now, but it doesn't mean that we have not been collaborating, have lots of meetings and so forth. When the idea of the CEO came up on a Sunday in my brain, I made a phone call, and that idea was actually sold, not literally sold on for dollars and cents, but sold to a couple network groups, and they love the idea because it doesn't exist.
They love the idea of the show, you mean?
They love the idea of the show and the concept, that's correct.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And I have the blessing from very high authority too as well to take this further. So we're just waiting for a couple things to put into place. The website should be up within the next month.
Do we know what the website is called yet?
It will be let me rephrase that, mediaolive.ca.
Mediaolive.ca. Okay. All right.
It's really called Olive Media, but unfortunately the website, we're working on getting that too. But we'll be with mediaolive.ca for the moment.
Actually, it's kind of cool that it's backwards like that.
I know, it's actually a conversational piece too, but it
also actually makes you think outside the box.
It does, right? It does. It's Olive Media Network, but we just say it's Olive Media. OOMN.
Oh, I'm getting a call, Dianne. Somebody's interested right now.
I feel like we're getting ready for liftoff.
Yeah.
It's like the countdown.
Yeah.
To liftoff.
So when do you think it'll be the website will be fully launched, and then how will people participate in this? Businesses and
we will have several different areas on the website. The content is already written for the website. We just have to put it together as well. We will have for some incubator programs where people can go and join for careers. We also have a couple of incubator media. Hugh, pick up the call.
Yeah. See, I have too much respect for my guests.
It's only because I know Hugh so well that
he's taking his liberty. I know.
And there goes the other one, Hugh.
I know.
But on a serious note, we have been communicating, and I have been in a lot of meetings with entrepreneurs, and they're very much interested. We have been promoting and advertising it, and we will be doing, of course, the media release, the press release. I'll be back on the show when we fully have it launched and so forth as well.
So what kind of, is there a special focus on a specific line or vertical of business, or are you focusing on like alternative or anything, everything goes? What is the plan
The
here?
businesses, we're talking about entrepreneurs as well. One of the incubator programs we're speaking about is also in the media, of course. One of, I believe, is, as you know, I mean, you have your interns here as well. But you, in the media, you have to understand when these entrepreneurs want to come out of training or school or wherever they may be coming from, or just maybe on their own, just trying on their own, there's nowhere to go. Mm-hmm. So that's something we're working with as well. Mm-hmm. We also have the financial planners. I speak to lots of financial planners. What's the next step? Everybody's trying to outdo each other. We have the real estate agents. It's everyone who... I had a conversation yesterday with somebody in the real estate agent. Where do they go next? Everybody is, 40,000 plus real estate agents. Why are you different from the next?
Yes, yes.
What do you need?
Yes.
How do you expose yourself?
That's
do you write
really
a book?
Saturated market. Very saturated.
Why are you different from the rest? People buy you. They don't buy your brand in a sense of, your industry. So what makes you different? What makes, Hugh different from the rest of the media, internet?
Now, how are you going to help your constituents?
Mm-hmm. Constituents.
Do that.
That's interesting.
Using big words today.
Is it because of Rob Ford?
Wow, interesting choice.
Yes, I know.
Word.
And blessings to him as well.
How are you going to do that for your people?
Well, Hugh, I'm not going to do it alone. I can guarantee you I'm not going to be doing that alone.
Do you have a team with you?
We are working on putting a team together. Again, this is why the collaboration comes along, and that's why we're speaking. We're speaking to, in all seriousness, we're speaking to a lot of the pre-existing, media companies, or the CEOs, the accountants, the financial advisors, those who are in the industry are working, the philanthropists, the leaders, the mentors. I'm speaking to all of them and putting them together. They love the idea. Okay. How can they contribute to that and put this together? So we'll be doing we'll have a training video, we'll have a training resource area and so forth where they can go and learn. Of course, there'll be mentorships and programs. And is it carved in stone? No, as we go along, yes, I do have the blessing of, I don't know if I could say that publicly yet, but I do have
come on. Okay, only here. We won't tell anybody.
Nobody? You promise?
Promise. Okay, yeah, like that.
Can you say the oath? I promise I would never say that.
Yes.
But
on the fraud book. Okay.
On the fraud book. But often.
Okay, no, who is it?
Well, I have the blessings from the UN Minister for Entrepreneurship globally.
That's beautiful. Yeah.
So
wow.
I do. That's why I know
it's impressive.
That is, yeah, it is, and it's going places. So I'm very, very pleased about that too as well.
Now you said you did mention that this is going to be a global.
It is going to be global.
So now, how is that going to work globally? And on the other hand, because here you are, we're all here in Toronto. Are you going to have a facility in Toronto or anywhere else?
We're working on that. We're putting the pieces together because all this came about, to be very honest with you, this came about, I would say, probably late last year, around October, November. We were talking about it through the other company. And as of February is when we really started to go forward with it as well, so with Olive Media. So we're putting the pieces together as well. We will have to have... because everything is so technology. Well, you talk about Skype, you talk about everything else. We can do satellite remote. We can do a lot from here as well. But we will be putting down the road offices or satellite offices and so forth across the globe.
So you have a huge vision for this.
It's a huge vision. It's not only my vision, but it started off. It seemed like there's quite a few people have interest in it too as well. So we're putting the pieces together. It's going to happen overnight? No. But the fact that if we start with here as well and talking and trying to put the like I said, the resources together first. But I've spoken to a lot of entrepreneurs about it too, because everybody who knows me knows me. When I do something, I think of everything globally, whether it's global or not at the time. But I look at it, because the reason why is because I was building a studio in Trinidad too, for some internal projects.
You were or you are?
Well, we are looking into that too as well.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. And of course, bringing it up to industry standard as well. Yes, Hugh, I know your brain is thinking there.
Yeah, you know why, right?
Yes. This was actually for some internal projects we were looking into as well. So we have to see if that's going to happen. And that's some global projects, by the way, that's working on.
So I think maybe a satellite office in Hawaii might be a good idea, Hugh. What do you think?
Well,
I think Bora Bora as well.
Yeah, Fuji Island.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm just...
Yeah. Those are all good ideas.
But that's what we're doing. I really believe that we have to help the entrepreneurs, because one of the groups I don't pay much attention to it, a Facebook page. And I'll be honest, sorry about that. It's the fact that the idea behind it is taking your business to the next level. And one of the, I was very strict about that in terms of, it's not to sell people in there, no selling, but it's how can you help Sandra take her business to the next level? What can you contribute to her? That's what it was all about. So I would bring in speakers and say, we'll be accountants and so forth, and say, okay. And I learned a lot, but for myself as well. How can we take these businesses to the next level? So with that mindset, this is where I continued with that and say, how can we help these businesses? Because to be honest, Hugh, you and I both know, as well as Sandra, we attend a lot of these functions. I say functions, these network meetings, and it costs a lot.
Yes,
but it's the same people you see. Yes. I'm not here to disrespect anyone, but that's not helping us.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No. It's got to...
It's a social club for them.
Well, it has to go to the next level. One of those events, I think one of the ones that you didn't put on, but you were there, that's what I felt like. I said, I've been here before. All these people, I don't know what's new in this environment, right?
And that's right. And the other thing is, how can we empower? I'm all about empowerment. How can we empower someone else? In order to empower someone, you have to be empowered. Okay? In order to love someone, you have to be loved. In order to make a difference, you got to be the change as well.
That's
We
right.
want to see the change. So how could each one of us be the change out there by doing something to help someone else, take their business? Because the entrepreneurs, their business is their life. And that's what they do, right? So how can we do that? Every day we can help someone. And I've had, like yourself, had so many conversations with people for hours talking about, and of course being an NLP practitioner, they get what they get some guidance there.
So you are an NLP practitioner, because you also mentioned something about hypnotherapy.
It's NLP and hypnotherapy, yes.
Wow, very cool.
So when they walk into my office, I cannot let them walk out being the same person
You have
they
to
walk
hypnotize
in.
them, right?
No, we don't hypnotize them.
So I did not know that. So I'm going to be very careful what I say to you from now on.
No. What I do is, I sometimes say to them by the door. I don't read people, but by the time the door, I would say to them, you know what? Sometimes you're not here for what you think you're here for. And when they reach when they reach in front of me or sitting in front of me, is the fact that I know that some things have been happening that they reach an alignment. There's an alignment there. So I say to them, okay, what's your biggest fear? It doesn't matter who it is. And sometimes they see it and sometimes they start breaking down right there and then. Because there's no fear. It's just your monkey mind, really, is what it is. So I may never see them again. And sometimes I do. And sometimes there's one girl, seriously, she's just heading up, managing a mini mall, a flea market mall in Oshawa. And her name is Sandra as well. And she says to me, she sits there and she calls me and says, and I'm working with them too as well, what would Dianne do? What would Dianne say? And everything she does now, and I didn't know this. We've had many conversations, but I didn't realize everything she does from now on. What would I say? What would I do? And that's the concept and the mindset. So you never know who you inspire, Sandra.
Yes.
You never know.
Yes.
And that's the main thing. So again, helping someone take their business to the next level is what it is all about. And that's what we're doing through 10 and the Entrepreneurship Network and the CEO shows and with Olive Media.
Okay, well, I'm really looking forward to seeing the website when it's out, and I want to work with you on this stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, because I agree with you. That's exactly what we need.
He thinks he's a 10 anyway, so.
He's a 10.
Oh, of course
he's a 10.
Always.
It's all about the heart. It's all about the heart. It's all about the heart.
There was a Twilight Zone on this morning where the guy was a robot and he didn't have a heart.
You still watch the Twilight Zone?
That's why I come in late every day.
The last time I was here, you were playing the Twilight Zone.
I was?
Yes, some clip from it.
See?
Yes. I don't know if Sandra was here. It was probably Erin. No, maybe not Erin.
Aaron. I don't know.
That would have been way back when.
Yeah,
That was
Well,
sure
Dianne,
thing.
we've known Dianne for a long time.
Oh, okay. Wow.
It's not my first visit, of course, as you know, and it wouldn't be my last.
So, Dianne, yes, we look forward to hearing more about it. Is there any last thing you want to leave us with? And, of course, we have to give out your website and stuff like that so people can get the book.
That's correct.
Mrs. Fraud and You.
MrsFraudandYou.com. It's on there as well. Just Google me because I sign all the books and the books come. It's not on Amazon and so forth because I still have to sign the books.
All right.
I still have to pay the books. But again, how we can take this to the next level, Mrs. Fraud and You, because of the big F. It's comparable to the big C. Which the big C is cancer. It's an epidemic. So cancer is still.
And F is
fraud.
That's what I thought. Okay, so I don't see cancer.
It's a conversational piece.
No, but I don't understand the connection.
It's an epidemic. It can't be stopped.
Oh, and fraud's an epidemic.
It is.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I told you. I'm such a layperson when it comes to this. I am like.
You better read that book, Sandra.
Again, did you read yours?
It is like.
Did you read it?
This is so foreign to find.
I haven't been defrauded.
Yes, you have.
Not since I read the book.
Oh, it's not since you read the book.
Yeah.
But again, protect your information is what it is.
All right.
But your information is all out
I
there.
love the concept of a Mrs. Fraud, though. I love that idea. It's a very cool idea.
Thank you.
Give her ideas.
Yes,
Yeah.
I just think you could do like this little series, these little vignettes, and you could have this female detective, with the hat on and the magnifying.
There's a lot we can do.
Oh,
there's a lot we can do.
I can just so see that.
Yes, I was actually told by, why don't we go to Moses and say, Moses, let's have this little fraud little episode. It's like, yeah, I know it is.
Oh,
but
he
it
would
takes
love
time.
that.
I know. I have
Zoom or radio.
Just pick
I
up the
know.
phone.
Do you have his number? I need to speak.
His office is down on the Queen Street East.
Queen Street East?
Yeah.
Pointing that way means nothing to me.
Right over there.
It's right over there?
Yeah.
Okay, give me the address and I'll drop off the book right now. Give me the address and I'll drop off the book right now since I have a couple extras since I'm downtown.
Okay, Dianne, this is great.
But thank you so much.
Thanks for doing this. I'm looking forward to having you back and hearing more.
Of course.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Congratulations and good luck. And
thank you.
We'll see you at the UN.
All right, we're going to take a little break, just a little one, because we got Kathy Walker coming on the show. In fact, we got a great show lined up, so stay tuned. We got so much great stuff to talk about here on Wednesday. We'll be right back.